everybody. Welcome back to my shop. I'm Bob, and yesterday we did the tool post and put it up, and I think I confused somebody. I really didn't do any work on making this tool post work for mine. Basically all I did was took the original T-nut from the original tool post, this one here that came with the lathe, and used it for the new tool post, simply because I didn't have a die or a tap to tap out a new piece. So, you know, to save me a little bit of work, I just used the original T-nut, because first of all, it comes all the way out to the edge, so there's no chance of any chips getting stuck under it. And this one here was the T-nut that came with it, which has to be machined. I don't have a machine or a milling machine, so basically all I did was just took the stud that came with this tool post, put it in the chuck, turned it down so that I could thread it to thread into the original T-nut. So that way, if I want to use the original tool post, I can still use it for stuff like, for instance, I don't have a boring bar for this yet. I mean, I'm getting one, but until then, this is all I have to use, the one that I made. So I still have to use this boring bar with my old tool post, the one that originally came with the lathe. So, evil twin, there you go, I explained it. But anyway, what we got going on today is organization. I've got my drawer all, I don't know if y'all can see that drawer or not, but I've organized my drawer somewhat. And this thing acts like it doesn't want to go in all the way sometimes, but that's alright, I gotta fix that too. But what I want to do is, I've cut one of these pieces of L-bracket. Now I've seen this on somebody else's, and I'll put the link up on right here so that you guys can see who I got this from. Just happened to stumble across it last night. He was doing something on the lathe with a barrel or something, and he's got the same lathe as I have, and I noticed that he had these up there, which I was planning on doing anyway. I just didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. So this is a simple way of doing it. What this does is it slides in here like that. So what I'm going to do is, from here to however far this goes, I'll space them out, and I'll make a piece of board to go across here that's angled at that angle, and then I can just slide those on there just like that. That way I can see what blade I'm working with, instead of it being laying down there like that. I actually have to pick each one of them up to find out which one it is. Well, that can get a little aggravating, so that's what I'm going to do, is just kind of make it so that it sits there like that, and then all I have to do is just slide them on there like that. It'll hold it just fine, separate them far enough to where I'm not in the way of each other, and I think that'll work just fine. I've got my first one made, so now we'll go ahead and get the rest of them cut. Everybody's seen a bandsaw working, so I don't need to show that. Everybody knows how to use a bandsaw. So as soon as I get that done, we'll come over here and space these out. Alright, now we've got all of our pieces made, 7 of them. Now we're just going to set them there, put them together, once we get them all set there, then we can figure out how long our wood needs to be for our angle, which I think will need to be longer than that. Longer than that. And because this one is so much wider, I think we're going to make it last. And this one's wider than them, so we're going to make this one next to the last one. Alright, now let's do some separation here. I'm going to say about a ½ inch in between the base of this and the next tool. Alright, now we need to measure our piece of wood. Let's bring that back a little bit further. Alright, now we need to measure our wood. The only bad thing about doing this is I can put stuff behind it, so everything I put behind it's going to have to be stuff that I don't hardly ever use. So now we're going to make this piece of wood wonder if I shouldn't go all the way. No, I better not. I'm going to do 20 inches. That way if I get another one, I can put one more here. If I get any more, I just have to refigure. So we're going to do 20 inches on the wood. So stay tuned. Alright, well I had to turn this light off because it was a little bright on the camera. But what I found is one of the boards that came off of the crate that actually the lathe was actually packed in. So, you know, I kept most of the wood out of it that I could use. And I just leaned it up against the wall there. And I think I'm going to put it back here against the wall. And mount those to the side of it just like that. But first I have to get the angle. So I put it at the angle that I'd like. And then found an old piece of board here to just set on the side here to kind of level it up, but I need to go a little bit further with it, so I can't never find nothing when I want it. This here's thick enough to get it up there. I just set it underneath there. And then we'll just draw our mark on the side of that. And then we'll do the same thing for the other side. I should have brought this over further the first time. Alright, and then we're going to come over and do the same thing on this side. Draw that mark. So now we've got our angle right there. So we're going to cut that right now. Now that we've got our angle cut, now we need to see what we can do about making that look a little better. Alright, well, we've got the board cut, and I'm trying to coat it so that, you know, when we're going to put stuff on here, or put the tools on here, they might be a little greasy, and I don't want the wood soaking up a bunch of grease. So I found a piece of this metal that's scrap that I had left over from some of these trailer jobs I did here in the trailer park. And I'm just going to nail the top part of it here, across here, to hold that. The front side we don't have to nail or glue or anything, because when we go to screw on our brackets to put our tool holder on, that alone will hold it in place. Then once I get done with it, I've got enough lip left over on this that I can 45 each one of these corners and just kind of fold that around after I glue a piece to the side here, and then this here will help hold that on there. So now I'm going to try to bend this part, but I got to mark it. I got to mark the back side of it here so I know where to bend it. Be nice if I had a metal brake. And then this will cover the top, the back, and the front. So now, take this out. I'm going to go ahead and nail those. And we're going to start in the center. Make sure I got enough on each side of the hangover, which I don't. Try to get it in the center here. And then we'll do on the end. And then we'll put one in the middle of those. Alright. Now that we've got that where we want it, the reason I got this there is so jaws don't mash into the tin. Then we'll just take a rubber mallet and just kind of hold down on that and just kind of tap all the way around it. Alright, can't go no further because the vise is in the way. So, now that we've got that, we need to figure out where it's going to land. Actually, you might be able to just squeeze it on there. Yeah, there we go. Now we need to mark it where we're going to cut it. Now we're just going to cut that. And then we're going to cut that line. Because we bent it back out, got a little spring to it, so we want to hit that on the edge, kind of flatten it out a little bit more, and then we'll tack that too. Running out of nails. Oh well, I've got a dirty one here. Now this side we don't have to worry about, because remember we're going to attach these to it. This boring bar one probably going to be a pain in the butt, because once I get my boring bar in it, see, this is the one we set our standard with. Alright. I think we're just going to make all the tops level with the top side. I'm probably going to have to put a bumper on these too. And the reason I say we're going to have to put a bumper on it is when you put these on, if you notice, when you put that on, how much space there is in between here, and it's always going to be crooked. But we'll see how it works. Alright, now we're going to make a mark. Here. And here. Now we're going to take all these back off. Then we're going to make a mark across there. As soon as I find my straight edge. where we're going to put all of them. So we're going to start off by doing about, I don't know, 3/4 maybe from the edge. Yep, 3/4 from the edge. So what we're going to do, since I can't find my magnetic part, I'm going to use a drywall screw to start it. And I hate using my tips for that. Now we'll just take that back out. And put the next one in it. And there's number 1. Now if you see here what I was talking about, I guess it really don't make all that much of a difference. Oh well. That'll make it loose enough where I'll be cool. Alright, now we're going to set this a 1/2 inch. So we need to find something that we can use. This is 1/2 inch, so we're going to use that to make our mark as to where we're going to put the next, or start the next one. And that one's going to be this one. Nice to have a magnetic tip screw because you need 2 hands to hold the ones that's not magnetic. And we want to try to make them as straight as possible. So now we'll go ahead and put the rest of these in. Well, shit. Alright, there you go, Crafted. There's your mistake. If I don't edit it out. I think I must have had, oh, it's that lip. Let's try this again. Alright, must have dropped that screw. Oh well. I got another one. Alright, there we got all of our tools. A dirty one here. And another dirty one. Alright, now we can go, the thing's going to sit just like that. Hell, I can probably put a bar up here or something, lay something up there, maybe, I don't know, who knows. Alright, so now let's get these off. Take this over. But there you have it. All my tools will be right there. Can't tell you how long I've waited for this tool post. But there we have it. Bison built tool post holder. And I don't really need to mount it. That way I can move it around anywhere I want. The only thing I have left to do is I might just go ahead and stain this, cut the corners at a 45, bend them over, and be done with it. But there you have it. Don't that look good? You guys have a good one. Later.